Should you bounce your project in real time or offline? Hi guys, Tim here, Audio Tutor. So yeah, today I want to talk about should you be bouncing out your project or saving your audio file in real time or offline? Many of us will have seen that you get the choice between real time or offline. The offline function was put into place so that if you had a really long audio file, right? So say you're looking at a podcast or an interview or something like that, you might have an hour and a half of audio that you need to save, and you can do it offline in maybe 30 seconds. But if you did it in real time, it's going to take you an hour and a half. You have to listen through the whole thing. That's a pain. So it's a great strategy for kind of time saving, productivity and all of that. But something the more advanced of us like to question is whether you're starting by bouncing offline, are you losing some of the quality of that audio file that you'll inevitably save? All right. So which one is the better choice? And today I actually wanted to talk about specifically like a song, so something that's maybe under 5 minutes. That's not really a question anymore. You don't really have to worry about how long it's going to take you to listen through to the song in real time. You kind of have the choice then. What would be your better choice for audio quality? Would it be offline or real-time rendering? All right, and so I just wanted to talk about that, and it's something that if you Google it, which you may have done in the past, there aren't many people really talking about it, and there definitely aren't many concrete answers to the question, all right? It's just something that we debate, we're not really sure on. We know that real-time rendering is slow if you've got a longer project. We know that offline rendering is really convenient, but we're not sure what the difference is in quality. So at this point, I want to recommend offline rendering. The reason for this is your processing speeds, all the processes that are happening in your computer, and those digital processes and all the plugins that need to be used within the time frame of that project being bounced or saved. All right, so when you render in real time, I've kind of been thinking about this a little bit, right? When you render in real time, your computer has to read all of those pieces of information from your project, right, in real time. So it has no chance to like catch up with itself. If it forgot about a bit, there's no going back because it's got to play through the song and bounce it and save it in real time. So say you have a moment where there's lots of virtual instruments come in your chorus, right? You've got loads of virtual instruments. We know that that's going to take a lot of processing power from your computer. Fine. But if you are saving in real time, then that means when it gets to the chorus, your computer better be ready to play all those different virtual instruments and trumpets and guitars and whatever you've put in there. Otherwise, you're not going to get the full quality. It could miss an instrument, it could miss something, all right? So that's partly why I would recommend offline rendering. If you're rendering offline, you'll notice actually that rendering offline doesn't always mean quick. It doesn't always mean that it's going to do it in a second. It actually means it's going to do it in its own time. All right, so when it gets to that chorus full of instruments and there's loads of information for your computer to read, you'll notice it kind of stops there and reads all the information bit by bit as it can, digests it bit by bit in bite-sized little chunks, and then it will start moving on, all right? So you'll notice it, especially I work in Logic, so if you're in Logic, you'll notice if you bounce offline, it doesn't just go blah, blah, blah. It actually saves and it sort of stops and then it will go on a bit, and so what that's doing is it's reading the information and then moving on as it can. It's doing it in its own time. So for me, that makes it a safer option. You know that all that information is going to be reading that information to the best of its ability and not ever getting to a point where it's trying to catch up with itself. All right, so definitely if you have a project that's full of virtual instruments that has a lot of plugins on it, and if they're high CPU plugins, things like 64-bit plugins, if you have a project that you know your computer has to work quite hard to achieve, I would bounce offline. That's going to give your computer the best chance to read all of that information and get it saved perfectly. If you are interested in learning more about audio and home studio recording, etc., I actually have a recommendations guide for you. It's a little ebook that you can download for free. It's in the description, and it's a recommendations guide of all the equipment you'll need to get started in the world of recording and mixing at home on an affordable budget. So head into the description, click the little link, and you'll get sent over the ebook just as a free gift from me to you. For now, I'll see you on the next video. My name's Tim from Audio Tutor. Ciao.